Okay, I'm now going to show off my PS2 project, which I have built all myself with my own self-intuition and savings, with a little bit of help of Keith Martin for lending me his fmcb memory card, which I have cloned onto that memory card there. They're identical memory cards hardware-wise. Right, so here we have Smuggler's Run working on the PS2. That is running from this 160GB maxtor hard drive, which my wonderful friend Stephen Anderson gave me from the computer shop. The case here is actually an old external hard drive which had broken. This was in the days where you could actually open up your hard drives before they're all like, planned obsolescence and stuff. It's really old, it's from like 2003, so we're able to make something else out of it, unlike, as I said, the product today, which you can't. So if I just turn this off, I have to unplug this now, because if you boot up the PS2 with the USB peripherals in, it absolutely wrecks it, and then you have to I don't know what it does, it just breaks it. So this is an old external hard drive which we opened up and have duct taped together, and I've hacked it into an old sort of makeshift hot swap drive bay. One sec, I'll put this down. So that means you can pull the hard drive out, and voila! On here, you have, again, 160 gigs of storage. A PS2 game is a maximum usually of about 4 gigs. So that means you can store nearly, around 40 games on here. That's insane. Usually a lot more than that. They're usually about a gig and a half, 2 gigs. So I'd say probably you could store about 60, maybe 70 games on here, depending on the age. Later the game, obviously, the more complex the graphics were, gameplay were, mechanics were, physics were, so they took up more space. But stuff like Smuggler's Run, that's a CD-ROM. That's like only a couple of 100 megs. So basically, like a couple of these, and you can have pretty much every game you can that's ever just been released on the PS2. Yeah, it's an ID hard drive. No, it's a Sata hard drive. And yeah, you basically just don't know why I thought it was an IDE. Yeah, diet brain, dieting really hard at the moment. So that goes in like that and plugs in. Okay. So now what you do is you boot this up, and that then launches a hack which loads custom software onto the PS2's RAM called FreeMcBoot. This then allows you to basically run things called .elf files, which you can basically use you can now use your PS2 as a sort of computer in a way, which you can program yourself, so you can do whatever you want with it. Now, some stuff which FreeMcBoot comes with, fmcb comes with, are ulaunch.elf. This basically allows you to use your PS2 as a computer. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what that is. HD loader, that's the default loader to your games from a hard drive. That's the official one, I think, more official one, but it doesn't really work with a lot of games or hardware. So I'm going to use OpenPS2 loader. Simple media system, that's basically like a sort of, you can turn your PS2 into a stereo launch disc. That's pretty self-descriptive, and this is just basically configuration which you don't want to screw with. So here's a memory stick. Basically this currently has the OpenPS2.elf file on, I'm going to put that onto the hard drive itself soon, but I don't have a computer at the moment, so I can't do it now. That plugs in on the... Christ's sake. Which way? That there we go, that plugs in on the bottom, and this plugs in on the top, and yes, you have to do it in this weird specific order, I'm not sure why. Okay, that's nice and plugged in. So the hard drive now spins up. You launch your elf, enter. You launch your elf, you launch elf even. Okay, so now we go into the file browser by pressing circle on the pad, and again, really complicated stuff here. You now have to sort of go on to mass first, which then opens up the hard drive, and then you have to go up, and then that basically then causes it to recognize the memory stick, which has mass 1, which is mass 1, sorry. I then go down to open PS2 loader, so opn ps2 ld.elf. Press circle for OK. I've already set this up. Basically, to get the hard drive working, to get it recognized, I had to basically set this up, and to get it to work, you have to press, select USB device start mode as auto. So that's all set up, don't want to screw with that. So now you press circle to go to your games list, and again, this is all on the hard drive. I can like open up, I think this might, no, will it screw it up? It might do. But I can just basically say click run. That loads from the hard drive, as you can hear. And it's a little bit slower than the optical drive, and some cutscenes don't work right, as you'll see. It's a bit laggy, but the actual gameplay is flawless. See, there we go. See, as I said, it's a little bit choppy. The reason why that is because Sony thought it would be a fantastic idea to put USB 1.1 ports onto their PS2 rather than USB 2.0 ports, which were available at the time. So the data rate is obviously extremely low, the bandwidth. Come on. Yeah, we can skip that now. Start. As you can see, the actual game runs fine. Smuggler's Warfare missions. There we go.
Same client, different problem. They need some.
See, there we go. Buggy or SUV. Buggy. Transmission automatic. Let's see if I can sort of like shit. One sec. See if I can like put that there while I just sort of demo the gameplay without it falling over or something. So as you can see, it takes a little while to load. Still loading. So again, the slow data or the low data rate due to the USB 1.1 bus on there, which is a bit shitty, but it's so worth it, you know, just being able to rip games to the hard drive and just have like a bajillion games. You don't even have to like mess around with discs anymore.
You're on your own, Angel. Just pick up and deliver.
See, the actual game is just flawless, you know. Whoops.
No tip, no next delivery.
So yeah, the game is basically you get this contraband and you have to deliver it to like certain places while like not getting arrested.
Bring your vehicle to a halt. You have violated immigration protocol number 7539.
It's a really old game, but I actually prefer these games. You sort of like, it's more stimulating because you use your imagination more, you know. It's sort of unlike the mindless games you get today, where it's like the gameplay's awful but the graphics are, you know, amazing. The gameplay's amazing but the graphics are awful. So it's really fun, but
Stop immediately.
you know, you sort of like,
Bring your vehicle to a complete
you know,
halt.
sorry, I'm like playing while I'm trying to talk and it doesn't work, especially when you're on low calories. What was I going with this?
You have violated
Something about like
protocol number
gameplay being awesome but the graphics are shit, so you sort of like get more out of it too because you're imagining like, you
Bring your
know,
vehicle to a complete
the
halt.
better graphics in your mind. You know, if you see what I mean? So it's like more fun, like that way, use your brain a bit more. Kind of.
Job well done. Job well done and done.
So there you go. You know, the mindless games you have nowadays, it's like, you know, really shit gameplay but amazing graphics. So it's boring to play and you don't have to use your mind to like imagine stuff. You know, I found it really fun when I was a kid, like, you know, playing around with cars and stuff, like, you know, because you're using your imagination. Sort of like, you know, this like golden zone of like, you know, like not having to use too much imagination with like a little bit. But anyways, that's enough of that. It works, it runs games, it's awesome, and the whole project only cost me £22, including shipping. Badass.